What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, the Nissan Skyline R34 GTR V-Spec 2 Sea West Edition. This thing looks absolutely insane. All the underglow underneath it looking pretty sweet. We will keep all of that on. I don't quite like it when it's on the stand, obviously, because it's raised in the air, but I get why it's done it. When it's on the ground, it will look incredible, I hope. Anyway, let's look at this one. Let's have a look. So this is the, as I said, the V-Spec 2 Sea West Edition. 202,000 kilometers on it, quite a lot. We picked it up from the auction house where we did get quite ripped off by about 6,500. Not our best purchase yet, but we will see how it turns out when we come to sell this one later on. Let's have a look. 502 horsepower from the i6 double overhead cam at BU2, a turbo engine. That thing looks absolutely insane. Look at the size of it. I'm hoping to squeeze some incredible performance out of that by the end of this video. It is looking pretty sweet. There are a lot of purchase options with this one to make it look how you want. Obviously, you got the Nismo, the Top Secret, Standard Nissan, Powerhouse Amuse, the Urus. Two different Sea Wests, one's with the neons, one without, so if I get sick of the neons I might swap it, but I don't think I will. But there are a lot of parts available for this car, a full 10 pages of it, so absolutely well done to Golly, and French Toast was involved with this one as well. Well done to them. If you want to grab this one, it is on the Steam Workshop. Head over there and grab it. There is a link in the description below. You can click that one, head straight over, grab it, log into your Steam account, get this one into your game because this is going to be fun. Let's get it started. Let's get over to the car wash and get this one cleaned up. Here we are then at the car wash on the wrong side. Let's get it cleaned, see what it's like underneath all of this dust. Obviously, there's quite a few parts missing anyway, but I bet this looks quite nice. With the green rear bumper, didn't notice that one. Lots of fenders missing, but it's not too bad. We're going to replace all of them anyway. We're going to keep it all with the Sea West style. So let's get the interior done. Let's get it back on the lift and get that engine ripped out, ready to start stripping everything down. Now, normally I would just go straight in, check the oil pan, and get that drained and ripped, but it is incredibly bright under there. So I'm just going to start by taking off all of the neon parts on this car, just to help my eyes just a tiny little bit, because there is a bit much going on with that one. There's another neon inside there. I don't quite know how to get rid of that one, but at least the underside is not as bright anymore. There we go, and you can see the oil pan there, so let's grab the oil drain and get that all drained out from inside. Let's have a look. Very, very dirty. Not very much of it, though, so that's pretty good. Let's get you put away, and let's start getting some of this stuff ripped out. No drive shaft, probably just missing. Where is the starter? Hiding over there. Let's get you out, and then we'll get that big old gearbox out and rip that engine out. Car back on the ground. Let's get the engine out. Oh, there is an engine cover. We should take that off as well. Oh, that takes out loads. That's pretty good. There's the engine just hiding in there. Let's get you out. Hopefully I did that right. Yes, I did. Let's get that one put away, and let's strip the engine bay. I don't quite know what's in this one. We got lots of liquids. So I'm going to have to get all of them drained. I say lots of liquids. Oh, yeah, there's the third one there. So I'm going to crack on and get all of this drained, and then we'll start stripping it down. See you in a second. That's all the liquids drained, I believe. Let's start stripping it out and see if I got it correct. It does look like it. Oh, almost forgot the fan housing on the radiator there. Out you come. That has to come out from underneath. The air filter is just floating, which is all right. It's probably part of the engine cover somewhere. We've got an ECU, obviously the brake servo. Fuse box over there. Let's get the lid off of that one. Let's take a look inside. There's quite a lot in that one, actually, so we'll come and strip that in a second. Let's get the ABS modules off, and we'll grab that battery out as well, hopefully from here, so I can stick that one on charge. Get you. Oh, nice. I can grab it from there. Ideal. Yeah, so I'm going to get this fuse box stripped. Next up, we're going to take a full look at all of this suspension, and I'll see you back here in just a second. Okay, then, let's get this front wheel off and have a look underneath what we've got to tear apart, what is missing. Hopefully not a lot. Let's just quickly go into this and see. Doesn't look like there's a lot missing from this front suspension really at all here. I can see a few bits clipping through, such as the engine clipping through the cross member there. You've got the exhaust clipping through the front drive shaft, which is not the end of the world. It's just one of them things. It's still a fantastic mod. So let's see what we've got. We've got a single shock absorber with a single lower suspension arm. I'm glad I've seen this one because I kind of want to use this for one of my configs later on. But it does look like it's all there, which is a good bonus. I'm going to grab the intercooler there so I don't forget it. Let's get the rear wheel off. Let's take a look down here. I can already see that it's disc brakes, which does make me very happy. I've got sick of drum brakes over doing them hot rods, although I do love them. This is the rear end with all of the rubber bushings absolutely everywhere. So we see what's missing. So we can see not a lot on this side, but on the other side we can see we're missing the lower arm, the one other arm, and then the top arm there. We're missing the brake pad and the caliper. Drive axle, there's quite a lot missing from the back here. Some bushings missing as well. So I need to make sure I don't miss all of them. But that is what it is. I'm going to get all of this stripped down. Next up, we'll get that engine stripped. We'll have a look at what's going on in there, because I don't think I've actually worked on that engine before. So we'll check that one out on the engine stand after I've got all of this stripped off. I'll see you over there in just a second. Here we are then with the very sorry state i6 turbo. It was not as good as I was hoping it was going to be, but let's just have a quick check, see if there's anything missing. Doesn't really look like it. It does kind of look like it's all there. I can't see anything missing from there. That's good. So let's start stripping it down and have a look what's underneath some of this. Because as I say, I don't recall working on one of these. I may have done it, I have done 80 odd videos now. So there is a possibility it will be in there, but I don't recall doing it. So let's just start getting some of these off. I want to get underneath these two covers here to see what is happening underneath, basically. What I've got to keep my eye out for, what I'm looking for in this one. I want to see if it's belts, chains, things like that. So let's just strip it down, start having a look what we're going to need to build this one back up. Right, underneath the first cover, let's have a look. What have we got? We have got another belt. Oh my god, that's hard to see. Another belt there. More rollers, the actual crankshaft to go straight onto, and the water pump. Can I get this one off? Yes, I can. Let's get you off as well. Let's have a look. That didn't want to work. Yeah, then up here we've got more cam gears attached to the belts, and I can get the top cover off as well. The top cover is all part of the head cover. That's good to know. Let's get all of you off, and let's have a look at the double cams we've got up here. Oh, more head covers. Oh, that's quite cool, actually. Head covers under head covers, but there we go. So let's strip a bit more of this off. I want to see them double camshafts. Last bolt, it had to be a rusty one. Let's get you off and see. So as you can see there, both the cams under there. Lots of cam caps on this one. And then obviously we've got the ignition coils as well through there. I'm assuming underneath that in the head is just the pistons and things. So let's get this giant turbo off of here. Was there definitely nothing missing from the end of that? It kind of looks like there should be a throttle or something there. Maybe that just goes directly to the exhaust. On the other side, there's the throttle. Okay, so it wasn't missing. That's all right then. Let's get you off, and we'll get that manifold off as well while we are here. So, oh, no, we won't. We'll get that fuel rail first. Then we'll get that manifold off. There we go. That's that one. Off you come. Let's see what's underneath this. Probably nothing. But I'm assuming there should be some spark plugs maybe somewhere hiding. Maybe this one doesn't have spark plugs. Or do they go underneath the coils? I don't know. Maybe it's... There they are, underneath the coils. That's all right then. Just double checking. What I'll do now is I'll just get the rest of this stripped. We all know what an inline 6 engine is by now. Well, if you watch this channel, you should too, at the very least. So I'll get all of this off, and then I'll meet you back by the car when we're going to get that body stripped. Everything is stripped, repaired, or replaced, apart from the bodywork. So let's crack on and see what we've got left. Obviously, we know I've taken the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the side skirts off already. So let's grab this hood off, the headlight off. Let's just keep looking around. Rear body window, rear window. Then we've got the rear lights. Oh, this one here as well. There we go. Car part 4, the bit that says V-Spec 2. Tail light. Any of this part of the body? Oh, I missed that. Oh, that's car part 3. There we go. That's on the outside. Big old exhaust. Let's have a look here. Left body window. And I think... Don't take my word for it, but I think that might be it. Let's just see if we can see anything else dotted around. Doesn't look like it. So I'm going to get that driver's seat out because you don't want to be in there anymore. We will replace it with that one, mostly because the rear seats match it already. So we're going to stick with the same body on that one, seat on that one. But let's go and grab the welder. Let's get this frame sorted, which should give us a better idea if we did miss anything. So let's grab you and bring you over. Over you come. What do we reckon? 2,500. Oh, 1,500. 1,000 out. Not even close, but it was worth the guess. Let's get this and let's see if there's anything rusty lefted on here. That's lefted. left on here. That's normally a good sign what you've missed. It doesn't look like anything, so I'm going to go get all the body panels I need replaced, repaired, and ready to go back on this car. I've already got some of it, but I know we're missing a load, so I'm going to go buy all of that. I'll meet you back here before we head over to the paint shop, where I am going to try and keep this as the Paul Walker Skyline. It's famous. We all know the Paul Walker Skyline. It is pretty cool, and obviously it does match the fact that the video is playing in the back of this car, and it is also playing in the passenger seat of this car, which isn't a seat because it's got all the NOS in it. Okay, then let's get all this body back together. Let's just get into it. So for the hood, I just went with a stock hood. Depends which version of the Skyline. The blue Skyline's got the indented hood here. The silver and blue Skylines just got a straight up hood without even this bit, but there isn't one, so I went for that one there. Obviously, the front bumper is the Sea West with the neons on. Looking at pretty smart. Engine cover, I did change it to the B engine cover and painted it red. I already been and painted that just so that it... Oh, God, wrong button. Just so it looks more like it. It is red in the thing. It does have blue on the shock covers there, so I may do my shocks blue. But let's get back on with it. I just went for the stock headlights. I couldn't see anything too fancy about them. Oh, and obviously I have got the lovely plate. This is available. This exact plate with the peach in the middle is available on the Steam Workshop. I will link in the description below to that. Fenders, I just went for stock fenders. The door, I did actually go for the Nismo door just because I like the interior. I'll just go around the other side and show you. It's just a bit red on the inside, that's all. Looking pretty sweet. Get that one on as well, and the other fender while we're here. Mirrors, just the stock mirrors, and obviously just all stock windows as well on this one. The side skirts are the Sea West with the neons on, obviously. Rear right fender, just stock, and the rear bumper, again, with the neons on. Stock lights, and a debadged trunk along with the Sea West spoiler. And obviously, let's just get that plate on there. And then I did go for the Sea West exhaust as well. That looks like it should be something, but it isn't. Let's get that window in. And yeah, that's pretty much all of it. I'm going to just finish off these bits. Oh, actually, and stock mirrors. I don't know if I said that already. But let's get the interior back in. I just kept it as it wanted it in the game, which is the seat 11 lever A, and the steering wheel is just the steering wheel 10. And I believe that is it. Let's just check in here. 96. Oh, that's what I'm missing. Just down here, there's the little badge, and I just kept the badge as the V-Spec 2 badge. There we go. That should be all of it. 100%. Nice. Now, let's head over to the paint shop, and let's see if we've got the actual Skyline livery. I'll see you in just a moment. There it is then, the Paul Walker Skyline, looking stunning in that silver and blue. Absolutely incredible. I do love how this one has turned out. Looking great. One thing I will say is on the livery, this part here should be blue, according to the Skyline car. Might be because I have the wrong spoiler on, I don't know, but it doesn't bother me that much. I quite like it in silver. And you can't use the debadged trunk because of the slight here. If you put the debadged one on, this has just got blue on it, which is a shame. It's just like a chunk of blue that looks really out of place. So I swapped it for the stock one and left it as that. It does look pretty cool. I'm very happy with how this turned out. One thing I will say is be careful when moving this car, and I will show you why in just a second. But it's looking pretty good. Underneath, I'm just probably going to go and chrome all of this out and all of the back out as well. Make it look pretty snazzy. Under the bonnet here, you've got an engine cover, which I do need to take off and paint again because this one should be red under here. But that's fine. I can do that. No problem at all. So it's not going to matter what color we paint the engine on this one because it will be hidden by that giant engine cover anyway. So I probably won't paint any of it today. I'm just going to leave it blank. Chrome out all of that, make it look nice and shiny and new, and then try and match the wheels as best I can. So let's get it back on the lifter, and maybe I'll just quickly show you. I won't move it to the lifter because I don't think it works, but if I just move it to the test path, I'll show you what happens, at least without any wheels on. Let's just do it. So here we are. As you can see, I seem to be quite low to the floor. As soon as I move, throws me up in the air, and I can actually land back on top of the car. Bit of a bizarre one, that. Not so much a bug, just something to do with this actual config. As you can see, it doesn't have any blocks on it when it's on the ground without any wheels here, so it could be to do with that. But doesn't matter, doesn't bother me that much. Just a tiny little glitch here and there. Let's get it back on the lifter. Let's get all the suspension sorted out. I've got everything painted. It is mostly just chromed out, apart from the shocks and the brake calipers. The shocks themselves are done for a blue, And the springs I've gone for a lovely red on there. So they're like a bit of red and blue. Nice bit of contrast on there. Looking at pretty good. Let's start getting it all on the car. I have got all of the unpainted bits on the car. I'll just go in quickly and show you. So it's all painted white officially, although it is chrome, so it does come out in that silvery colour. All of it under here is that, apart from the brake caliper. And the brake caliper is in red. I say all of that. I mean, that is pretty much it on the front end of this car. There isn't much to be painted on this one. We'll get that brake caliper on just to show you it's in the red. Looking quite tasty. Not really much to it at the front end, especially not that can be painted anyway. That is it at the front. Obviously, I did already put on the main hubs, the plates and all of that stuff beforehand, just to save a little bit of time. Get them bushings in. Let's move down the back. Already, I've done all of the knuckle housing stuff ready on there, so we can see what we've painted, and it is all just in that white chrome. Obviously it comes out as a chrome color, but it is looking pretty good, if not pretty basic even by my standards. I like to paint things quite a lot. I have done the rear shock in blue just to sort of match up with the front there a little bit, and obviously the springs on that spring cap at the back, they're also in red to sort of tie it in. Hopefully it looks all right. We'll get it all finished. We'll get it all together and we'll see how it looks. I do just want to get all of this in just so you can see what the painted bits look like when they're in the chrome, at least anyway, including that lovely spring cap. Spring there in the red, and then obviously the cap can't be painted. So let's get this side in and finished. What else have we got that's painted on here apart from the brake caliper? I think that's probably about it. I've got a couple of bits to throw in, like the drive axle and things like that. Let's get you in and let's get that brake caliper on. What do you guys think? Have I been a bit too boring with this one by just sticking with a chrome colour? It is a replica car though, so I kind of didn't want to do too much to take away from the fact that it's a Paul Walker Skyline. What do you think in the comments? Should I have gone over the top like I normally do and painted everything? Or is it just quite good as it is? I'm going to get all this finished. We'll have a look when it's all done from inside the engine bay before we get that finished. All the suspension is finished. As I say, it was pretty much all just chromed out, but I am liking it. Looks pretty nice, pretty basic for me, pretty simple for what I normally do, what I normally work on. Normally there's lots of colour, but we have got a bit of contrasting colour in the blue to the red here, along with a little bit at the back as well. But let's get on. It is time to get this engine bay sorted. The only thing painted in here is the fuse box. I have painted it red. I won't go through filling it all up just to show you guys. And I did manage to remember to grab my battery. Let's just put that on while I'm still here. So we got the brake servo. Obviously, that was repaired. ECU, we did have to buy a new one. We did manage to repair the pump and the module as well, actually. I was a bit shocked. Normally, it's one or the other. But that was pretty good. Air filter, we bought a new one, obviously, on that one. Then we got the radiator and the radiator fan housing with the double fans. All of that was repaired. Obviously, I had to buy a new filter and new fuses, but everything else was repairable, obviously, apart from the ECU. Quite pleased with that. I'm going to get on and get this finished now. We are coming very close to the end of this Skyline. We need to get that engine built, which I'll do in a minute. I have painted a little bit. I know I said I wasn't going to, but it is me. I can't help myself. Most of it is a chromed out colour, though, but there is a few splashes of red on there. So let's head over there and get that one built. Here we go, then. You pretty much rejoin me right where we left off with the dismantling of the engine. I've done all the insides, all the innards, all the cam caps, all the sort of fiddly bits are on there. So let's start getting some of this on. Obviously, we've got the exhaust and manifold performance parts on here. That had a few more bolts than I remembered taking it apart. Then we've got that big old turbocharger thrown on there, looking pretty sweet. The performance part variant there. On the other side, we got the intake manifold. Let's throw you on. Now, if it's been painted, it has been painted in a lighter chrome. For example, this throttle here, you can see it. It does match the rest of it. You know, the intake manifold, that is. It doesn't so much match the base. I don't know why. Painted in the same colour, but is a lot darker than everything else. But there we go. That's how you can see it's white, because that clip there is white. I wish we could get that chromed with that on red. That would have been pretty sweet. That's pretty much it for the top end for the minute. So we'll get these covers on. I have just painted these black just to fill it in a bit more. Make it look a bit more like a proper car would. They are just normally in that grey sort of plasticky cover, which I really don't like. And they can't really take any other colours, which is a bit boring on my behalf. So there we go. Let's start getting the rest of this on. Obviously, we've got the power steering pump there and the crankshaft pulley. On you go. And then a big old belt, get you on. And we've also got a belt tensioner to go on here. On you go. And the radiator fan. I did do that one in red just to throw a little bit of extra red on here. But now we need to get up and figure out why it won't let me put the head covers on yet. Ah, probably that fuel rail. I reckon that's it. There we go. And no, it still won't let me. I must be missing... Ah, there it is. The two beginning caps. I missed them. There we go. The two very front caps on this one. On they go. And then we'll get the engine head covers on. I did do these in red. Probably if... Well, I know it's a fruitless effort because the engine head... the engine cover does cover most of this engine anyway. So you won't see it. But I just like to make it look a little bit more exciting. And then the very last thing is the coil cover, which I wanted to do red. But yeah, that type of plastic just doesn't take any colour at all, which is a bit of a shame. That is my finished version of this engine. Take of it as you please. I quite like it. I think it looks all right. It could be better. I'll grant that. It could definitely be better. But it is going to be covered by an engine cover. Speaking of which, let's get it off the stand. Let's get it dropped back in the Skyline. I need to go and grab that crane because I always seem to forget it. Move you over. Let's get you dropped in and let's take a look before we throw that engine cover back on top of it. So it's not going to make much difference in there. That's how it would be looking if we didn't have the engine cover. Actually doesn't look too bad. Quite pleased with it. But we do have an engine cover to go on top of there. And what does it show up underneath? Okay, so the turbo still sticks up through with the chrome and red. That's pretty nice. And that's about it, really. The rest of that's covered. One thing I will say about this version is the suspension is a tiny wee bit too high. See it there? Just poking up too much. And then when you close the hood, it does just pop through. Very easy fix. If you've got this car yourself on PC, obviously, you have to be on PC to get this one. You could just go into the config and just lower the actual spring length at the front just a tiny little bit, and it will just pull it in underneath that hood. If I'm using the wrong hood, please let me know, because that will be my own fault. But that is the engine done on this car with its engine cover. The outside of this car is very nearly completed. I'm just going to get these windows tinted, get my wheels sorted out, and this car will be complete outside in the sun. Here we are then, outside with the finished Skyline with the film correct plates. Absolutely fantastic. There is a link in the description below to grab this Florida plate here with the peach in the middle. The normal Florida plate doesn't have the peach in the middle. That really finishes it off because that is the same as in the film. Anyway, let's get a walk around this car. Looking absolutely fantastic. To be fair, that engine cover has really grown on me. It actually looks really good. I'm normally not a fan of them, but this one is very well done. And obviously my red fuse box thrown in there just for good measure. Onto the wheels on these ones. I did keep them bang on factory as they came with the car. They are the rims 3. The 6-spoke rims look absolutely fantastic on this car. They're both not they're all 19 inches, 285 width with a 30 profile. All around the car exactly the same. Obviously we've got the red brake calipers in there, like the film as well, looking pretty snazzy. The only thing I don't like is that the shock does pop through the hood a little bit. You could edit the config and just lower the springs a little bit so that they wouldn't show up for yourself very easily. But this is a beautiful looking car. I do absolutely love it. And the interior is fantastic with the NOS, the film playing in there, the blue covers, all the additional dials, the turbo dials and everything like that. Looks absolutely fantastic. And we can't forget the trunk with the speakers and the film playing in the boot with the blue neons. Absolutely lovely. This is a fantastic mod. Well done to Golly and French Toast. I'm going to have the assumption that French Toast made all the liveries, and this one is fantastic. It looks incredible, so well done to you both. Link in the description below to go and grab this car from the Steam Workshop. Grab it yourself. There's loads of models on there to play around with. You don't have to do the Paul Walker one. You can just do a basic standard R34 Skyline with any body kit of your choice that's on there. But you did see there are 10 pages of mods for this car, so it is pretty cool. I really like it. Shall we jump in and give it a sound, see what it sounds like? It shouldn't normally, but this interior is just so good. I absolutely love it. Let's get her started up. That's pretty boring. Give it some gas. That is what I like to hear. A beautiful sounding engine. Let's get it on the dyno and see what power she's got with all these performance parts. Here we are then on the dyno with the GTR Skyline R34 and its turbo engine. 502 factory power. How much have we added with the performance parts today? Let's have a look. An additional 268 horsepower, 54%, bringing our total up to 769. Now, I did put slicks on this one. It does have four-wheel drive, though. How fast will we get it down the track? Let's find out in just a second, but before we head over there, I know some of you like to see, so let's just check out my tuning. By no means am I a professional at this. I make it up as I go along. First gear to 103, second gear to 136, 181, and then as you can see, just curving all on up to technically 1,000 kilometers an hour. Although we will never make it there with that curve, I think we'll probably end up at around 350 kilometers an hour. That is my guess. It might be a little quicker, but let's head over to the track and let's find out. Here we are then on the track with the GTR Skyline R34 with the screen playing Too Fast, Too Furious. How quick can we make it to the end? Let's go. Not too bad off the line there. Through the gears very quickly early on, but not gaining too much speed. But unfortunately, yeah, not the greatest. That's probably my tuning though, nothing to do with the car. 300 kilometers an hour. Where will we end up? I predicted around 350. What will it get to? Might not even get out. We're accelerating a bit more now. There's the 350. Well, we beat what I said, but only by a little bit. 364 kilometers an hour. Well, we're ending this video on the test path purely because I put the neons on this one and you can see them on the test path. Only reason I'm ending the video here is for that. Loving the plate on this car. Loving this car. Excellent work. Again, link in the description below. Good job to Golly and French Toast for getting this one in. It's looking fantastic. So, 364 kilometers an hour. Pretty good. It does put it 44th on the speederboard. It is 2 kilometers an hour faster than the Paul Walker Evo 7 I did. From the same film, ironically enough, which is pretty good. I love this car. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I will be selling it, though. That my game doesn't like it so much. It could be to do with the neons. It could be to do with the film playing on the inside of the car there or in the trunk. I'm not quite sure, but my game is just struggling a little bit. And sometimes when you move this car, especially out the front now, it pushes me through the floor and then spawns me in somewhere else. And without the wheels on, if you move this car here or to the paint roof or whatever, it starts you low and then springs you up in the air. Only issues I found with it, they're not that big of an issue. And obviously the shock sticking up through the hood a little bit. Not that much of an issue. My game's not that bothered. You can see it's still moving around quite freely. When I was in the dyno room, it was a bit jittery, but nothing special. It's absolutely fantastic. You want to get this mod, use the link in the description below. There's also a link to grab that very specific, unique plate with the peach in the middle of the Florida state sign. But yeah, absolutely love this one. Prices. Now, you saw we got ripped off at the beginning by quite a bit. 32,111 is what we paid for this car, and I have spent 102,141 on this one today. Getting it looking like it does. It still looks pretty tasty. You're very happy with it, but I have spent 134,252 doing this one today. Let's jump in. Oh, I was already on the wrong screen. So 164,602 is the sale price. Does pin our profit at 30,350, which isn't so bad. I was not expecting 30,000. I did spend quite a bit of time with the bonnets or the hoods, changing them to see if there was one where the shocks didn't stick up so much, but most of them were about the same, especially with the look I wanted. And I did change the trunk lid a couple of times as well. And I did buy all of the engine covers just to see which one I could get coloured red, which one looked the best, because I didn't want it to be stock. So I did waste a bit of money on that one. You guys shouldn't have to. If you want to build this as that replica, just watch this video. Follow what I did. Buy the badged trunk and the stock hood. Simple. Save you buying all of it. And engine cover B, I think, is the one I went for. Now, obviously, this did have 202,000 kilometers on it, and we did manage to get that horsepower up to 769, a gain of, I'm not sure, I didn't write it down. So, but it was a good gain anyway, over 50%. So it's pretty good. But it is time to say goodbye to the Skyline R34. It was a lot of fun to work on, and I'm definitely going to enjoy that 30,000 profit. Goodbye, Skyline. You were definitely a lot of fun. Now, normally at this point, I'd walk back through the shop door and say, up next, we've got... But I don't have anything on here. I'm recording this on Tuesday. This video will go live on Wednesday. The Lotus update, or DLC, is coming out on Thursday. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, touching all the wood on my desk I can, that I will be able to get you a Lotus video in for Friday. If it does come out a bit too late and I can't, I do have a challenge that someone has set me, one of my good friends has set me, so I will be trying that challenge if I can't get the Lotus DLC there. If I can get the Lotus DLC, obviously I'll do one of the Lotus, either the Elise or the Esprit. Doesn't matter which, but that's what I'll be working on. Thank you to everyone who is still subscribing to the channel. We are still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by my 1,000th video. 100 subscribers by my 100th video. That was a bit over the top there. Thank you to everyone that has. We're currently sat at 85. We're on video 81, so not too bad. You know, I'm still above average. 1 for 1 I'm going with there. So thank you to all of those that are still doing it. If you do want to subscribe and help me out, please hit the subscribe button below. Hit the like, hit the comments. Tell me whatever you want to tell me. And if you have a different challenge for me, let me know in the comments, or you can hit over my Instagram or on Twitter. Links below if you want to head over to them. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful bank holiday. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.